welcome to Piggypower. Today we go from old brakes to new brakes. Oh yeah. So what tools will you need? Well, you're going to need something to remove your wheels, normally a 17 or a 19 mil. Make sure you obviously jack up your car and put an axle stand in there. Make sure it's nice and safe. Other little tools you need, something to turn sockets with. A ratchet, a good length one is handy. You need T55 and a T30 Torx sockets, or some sort of wrench that has a T30 and a T55. 13mm socket, spanner also works fine, screwdriver, levers are handy. I've also got a few other little bits here, like a wire to keep the caliper out the way while I'm doing other stuff. That's just a little handy thing to have. Some big pliers to push the caliper piston back in. Cleaning products like sandpaper, scotch pad, wire wheel on a drill. Copper grease is handy for putting things up together. Ceramic may be a bit better, but most people have got that. Bit of brake cleaner, bit of cloth, clean stuff off. Let's get to it. First, remove the caps on the wheel nuts, if you still got them, of course, or wheel bolts. Remove the wheel bolts, and remove the wheel safely. Axle stand is obviously on already. We'll turn it around so we've got better access. And then we want to remove the two screws or bolts that are holding the disc on. A good time to do it is now, and you'll see why. You see the disc wants to turn. If these bolts are actually on, some snapped off, some rounded off, I hope they're not for you. A screwdriver or punch is handy in the vents of a disc to do this, and then you can just simply spin them off. Sometimes you have to use a little punch just to get them seated in nice, and then you can buzz them out. Sometimes they get rounded off by ham-fisted individuals. To the caliper now, 13mm, either a socket or a spanner. I'm going to use a cheap ratchet here. I love this tool, it's one of the best tools I've got in my box. We just break off the initial tension in the bolt and then spin the rest off. Other calipers, sometimes you need to put a spanner on the inner section, not on this design. Lever bar to push the pads away from the disc surface. They're often on a lip and stuck on a lip, which doesn't really help. Just a little squeeze, couple of mil will do it fine. Keep an eye on the levels in your brake fluid reservoir, and then we just lift the caliper up. Clean off some of the smuts. Yep, that'll do. Enough cleaning. Then slide the caliper off the top pin. I just find that an easier way of doing it. The wire I mentioned earlier, hook it up and hook it on the spring up above. This keeps the caliper from dangling and damaging your brake hose or just getting in your way or smacking you on the knuckles. We're going to flick the pads out with the lever or just a screwdriver. Sometimes they get a bit stuck in there. Need a little bit of persuasion. 1. And 2. Good. Next. You could just, if you're doing the pads at this point, clean this up, put new pads in, put it all back together. But we're doing discs and pads. We're just checking that the sliders are nice and free, the boots aren't split, and there's no water in them. Clean the sliders up, give them a re-grease. We'll do that on rebuild once we put it all back together. Next thing is the T55, the big old boy. Make sure it's seated nicely in the bolt behind. These are very tight. Sometimes you need to get a breaker bar on it. As you can see, I am struggling. Even my extended 3/8 ratchet. Don't pull a hernia. Use a bigger bar or a big gun. I'm getting good leverage, so I'm using my whole body, and I managed to do it. But a breaker bar will do it as well. Just make sure you seat them correctly so you don't break your socket, break your hand, or break the head of the socket out, round it out. Finish them off with my cheat gun. And then the caliper carrier will come away from the disc. And now the disc will drop off. Well done. You're about halfway. You're doing well. Have a cup of tea. I'm sure I probably will. I'm just going to turn so you can see the face of this. You don't have to do this. I'm just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm now getting the wire brush on a drill so we can clean the face of the hub up. You don't want any smuts on there. If there is any smuts on there, then it can cause interference with your new disc, and it'll give you brake wobble, and maybe even wobble through your steering wheel, which means you've got to do the whole job again. So, simple little job to do right now. You could just use a wire brush, obviously, or a bit of scotch pad. I find the old wire wheel on a drill the easiest solution. Please subscribe. I'm cleaning up the little ears. Sometimes I put it in a vise to clean it up. Or you can bolt it on there if you haven't got a vise and clean it up that way. Sometimes these little ears shims come with the new pads, but I'm finding more and more these days they don't. People are getting cheap. New discs go on, and we put those bolts back in. You don't need to do them tight, they just retain the disc. So just nip them up. It's like 12, 13, 14 Newton meters. There you go, 10 Newton meters, that's all it is. We clean the disc off because they normally come with some oil on them, so you keep them from rusting up in the storage facilities or in the box. A little bit of thread lock on the big T55 bolts that go on the back. Make sure the thread lock is on the thread all the way around. We've cleaned the threads up prior to that too. And then we'll nip them up and torque to spec. 105 Newton meters. Click, click. Click, click. Clean off the slider. Make sure it's all nice and clean. And apply some fresh grease. You can put a bunch of other different greases on it. There's lots of arguments on the internet about which ones. I just put a bit of copper slip on it. It always does the job just fine. Too much on the exterior of all the brakes does collect dust and dirt, but it works fine in those applications to me. I've always used it, never had problems. So same thing on the top slider. That just slides in, and you can flip the caliper out the way. Now you can see we've had some CV grease leaking out before, so I'm just getting that out of the way because it just gets everywhere. And then we're going to push the caliper piston back in. I've just checked how much fluid there is in the bottle. We got some space in the reservoir. You can use twist sliders that kind of push in, but I just find a big pair of grips works just fine. We're going to remove the cap on the reservoir as well, just so it's easy to push up. The air can escape somewhere. And we're going to stick some cloth under there, just to make sure that it doesn't dribble everywhere. Push the piston, flow goes up, back in your reservoir. And you don't want it going all over your electrics and your paintwork. Squeezy, squeezy, inny, inny. Check that obviously the seals are okay and there's no splits. If there is, you really want a new caliper or a rebuild kit. New calipers or rebuilt calipers come cheap enough if there's splits and pitting on the piston. So, new pads. Sometimes they come new clips, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come with new bolts, sometimes they don't. It depends usually on the quality, and sometimes just they don't bother anymore. They're cutting corners. Tiny bit of little grease. I use copper slip, as I said, or ceramic grease on the ears of the pads, and that'll just stop them from squealing and also from sticking over time, which can cause problems obviously with brake wear or the brakes grabbing on when you don't want them to. And they should just slide in. If they don't just slide in, then you need to just check that you've got the right pads and that the shims are clean enough. New bolt goes on. If it isn't a new bolt, which I think this isn't, then we've cleaned up the threads and added new thread lock. If the piston hasn't gone far enough back in, you won't be able to get the caliper back on at that point. And then we're going to nip that nice little 13mm headed bolt back up and obviously torque it to spec. Click, click. So you're pretty much done at this point. You're just going to make sure there's no dirt on either side of the disc face. That obviously won't help the efficiency of the brakes in any way whatsoever. You might need to put the screwdriver back in and just make sure that they're nipped. They don't take too much though, 10 Newton meters. Then jump in the car and pump the foot brake up to make sure the piston expands, makes contact with the pads and the disc, and there's no binding going on. Now, for bedding in, there's many different opinions on this. Generally, I brake hard at about 30 miles an hour, come off, drive, let it cool down, brake hard again, come off, let it cool down again, do it a couple of times, get up to pace a bit faster, maybe 50 or 60 miles an hour, a couple of firm brakes, but not to a stop, let the brakes cool down, and you should be okay. Well done. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, see my other videos for other guides and helpful tips and tricks for repairing and maintaining your car.